Hey, this is Bryce Johnson from Expedition Bigfoot. You're listening to the Paranomaly Zone.
Hey there, ponderers of the paranormal. You have found the Paranomaly Zone, and this is it, Mike. I should make the introductions proper here. My name is Patrick Hoffenberg. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host with the ghosts, the paranormal poster boy himself, Mr. Michael Carbno. This is our segment of the show, the yet-to-be rechristened segment of the show, where no shades of gray are allowed. It is either yay or nay, no shades of gray. The topic at hand, no matter if we are straddling the fence, is either true or fake. We have to make the decision. Our own opinionated decision, our own belief. We have to make a choice tonight. We're focusing on the Flatwoods Monster. If you haven't tuned in, by the way, make sure you check out the first portion of this episode. We focused on the mystery of Indrid Cole, the smiling
he's a freaky guy.
man.
Very freaky.
Very freaky guy. Yeah. Normally smiles are good things, but not with this guy. Mike, the Flatwoods Monster. Oh, your doggy is opinionated with the Flatwoods Monster.
She's opinionated dog.
Very opinionated dog. This is something that I was perusing through the entire backlog of the Alternate Out podcast episodes. I know we haven't covered this as the Paranomaly Zone, but I was kind of surprised that we have never spoken of the Flatwoods Monster.
I know.
This is quite the story.
It is it's crazy.
Going back to what, 1955? Is that what this one?
52 actually.
1952. Yeah, this is a legendary story if you're into all things aliens and cryptids, of course. And if you're listening to this podcast, chances are you are. How familiar with the Flatwoods Monster have you been, Mike? And
not very.
Okay, I was going to say, be truthful, man.
Yeah, not very. I'm trying to. It's the title sounds familiar, but when I was going through things, a lot of it didn't really seem familiar to me.
Nothing really rang a bell with you, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe it's something that you blocked out. Have you ever thought about that possibility?
It could be. Maybe I've had an encounter and my memory has been stripped. But it wouldn't have been in 1952, that's for sure.
Mike's had his own encounter with the Flatwoods beast, Flatwoods entity, or however you want to describe it.
Yeah, have you seen the artist's impression of the Flatwood Monster?
I have.
Is it?
I'm looking at it right now.
Does it kind of seem Mothman-esque to you without the wings?
I would say I can see a similarity. I can see a likeness. Absolutely.
Like the red eyes for one thing, but it's like whatever that is above its, like his head is shaped like it's like some kind of insectoid something.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Yeah.
The sketch that I'm looking at here, it also looks, it's very, very large.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Compared to a human.
Compared to the human that's in this drawing, it's at least twice as tall, probably 10 times its weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very, very intriguing. Very insectoid, as you said, Mike.
Yes. Looks like it's wearing a black evening gown.
It kind of does. Yeah, he's dressed for the ball. He's ready to go out. He's ready to hit the town.
Mm.
Yeah, 1952. Yep, you're right there, Mike. I was off by a few years. 1952, I'm at an article here on history.com. The Flatwoods Monster terrified 6 kids, a mom, a dog, and the nation. Yeah, this is a story that actually brought forth an inquiry by the U.S. Air Force, and it was part of the initiative of a certain thing called Project Blue Book. So this isn't just some willy-nilly story that was tossed aside as if nothing occurred. No, this was something that was seriously investigated. And there's been no definitive answer. None.
Yeah. It started actually with Edward and Fred May and their friend Tommy Heyer. The three boys that had seen a bright object across the sky and land on the property of a local farmer. And that's the first that I see where there's an encounter. That was September 12th, 1952.
And they were like young boys. They're 13.
Yes.
Were they both 13 or maybe 13 and 12?
I don't have that. It
13 and 12, it says.
Yeah.
The May brothers, Ed 13 and Freddie 12. Yeah. They've been playing in the schoolyard with their 10-year-old friend Tommy Heyer. Yeah. They note, and all three of the boys noticed a pulsing red light streak across the sky, as Mike just said, and crash at the nearby farm. Now, the youngsters then ran to grab the Mays boys' mother, and they hightailed it up a hill to check out where they thought this light had, I guess, crash landed. Now, a few other boys, along with a dog, actually showed up because this was causing quite the hullabaloo. It wasn't just them who saw that. I mean, this was a large streak of light across the sky. Several people witnessed this. Oh, it says right here, yeah, 7 Braxton County residents on Saturday reported seeing. Ooh, I'm jumping ahead here. This is after they had gathered. These boys were joined by fellow residents. I'm going to backtrack here, Mike. I want to get a little bit of the story, or the setup, I should say. This occurred in Flatwoods, West Virginia, September 12th, 1952. We may have said that already. Very frightening, terrifying to everybody involved and the nation. A high school freshman at the time named John Gibbons actually said that one of the boys peed his pants. So
he wouldn't do that for nothing.
He wouldn't do that for nothing. You would think. You would hope. It's not something you do just for attention. Hey, watch me pee my pants, piddle myself here. Yeah. They also say that their dog, Ricky, ran away with its tail between his legs.
Their dog, Ricky?
The dog, Ricky. Yeah. Interesting.
Get back here, Ricky.
The encounter made the local and national news. As I said, starting this off, it prompted a U.S. Air Force UFO inquiry and became part of the Project Blue Book investigation when they dispatched a handful of investigators around the country to look into all of these claims, or around the area to look into these claims.
Right. But to go over what these people saw when they went to that, where this light had landed. I have that right here. It's
yes.
When the boys went to get the other people, local children, Neil Hunley and Ronnie Shaver, and West Virginia National Guardsman Eugene Lemon went to the Fisher farm in an effort to locate whatever it was that the boys said they'd seen. The group reached the top of a hill where Nunley said they saw a pulsating red light. Lemon said he aimed a flashlight in that direction and momentarily saw a tall, man-like figure with a round red face surrounded by a pointed hood-like shape. Description varied from other encounters.
Kind of like the drawing, though. I mean, that we mentioned.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a what am I thinking of? The Disney. What cartoon am I thinking of when she had to look into the mirror? To.
Oh yeah, sure. The Wicked Queen. Had that big collar that went up.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's kind of that's the very dramatic shape. You know, pointed, almost regal in appearance, but also intimidating. That's interesting. Yeah, 7 of the residents joined the boys, and they reported seeing this large, quote unquote, Frankenstein-like monster, estimated to be about 10 feet tall. A 17-year-old National Guard member, Gene Lemon, as Mike said, was leading the group when he saw what appeared to be a pair of bright eyes in a tree. And that's where the sighting, where the details started to come forth. Now, pseudo-skeptics immediately say, well, they saw a big old owl up in the tree.
Yeah, with a comet going by.
With a comet going by. You know, the owls have their pointy foliage on the top of their head, you know. And these kids are already excited and frightened, and this is all a huge, exaggerated story, you know. The imagination's gone wild of frightened kids.
Yeah.
Now, put yourself in your 13-year-old boots, Mike. Not that you have boots that are 13 years old. Go back to the day when you were 13, you know, and be truthful again. Be open here. Be honest. Can you imagine yourself being so wrong in a encounter with an owl in a tree and being so freaked out that you just end up describing it? Not only do you pee your pants, but you end up describing it as a 10-foot tall, glowing red, essentially an alien entity.
I don't think so. By the time I was 13, I had already accepted the existence of who knows what.
Well,
I mean,
well, you're not normal, okay?
I'm not.
But I'm saying that in a good way. I mean, you've led such a paranormal life. I'm just like, I'm so jealous. And so I guess maybe you were the wrong person to ask. So I'll ask myself, and I will say no. I can picture my 13-year-old self even then being obnoxiously uptight about it and saying, nah, it's, you know, I'm not going to be sitting there exaggerating something, making up. I'm not going to flip out over seeing an owl and saying that it's actually a 10-foot tall alien. If I say I saw a 10-foot tall alien, well, you know what? I saw a 10-foot tall alien.
Right. I have actually, well, it could have been around that age too. I remember seeing an owl in the woods. It was wintertime and everything was quiet. And I looked around and there was a huge snowy owl. Couldn't have been 30 feet away from me in a tree. And it was, all I thought of was how beautiful this thing was and did not look like an alien. And I would never have misjudged that or an alien for that.
National Guard member Gene Lemon, continuing his story, he said that he himself screamed and fell backward. The news account quoted him as saying when he saw a 10-foot monster with a blood red body and a green face that seemed to glow, that's when he screamed and fell backward. Mm-hmm. He also said that it may have had claws for hands, but it was hard to tell.
Small claw-like hands.
But it's hard to tell because there was a dense mist. Now, the dense mist adds to the creepy ambiance, obviously.
Oh, sure.
Ambiance, I should say. The
story,
it says
here that the clothing had like folds and a head that resembled the ace of spades, and that's where we're talking about that.
Yeah, the collar type looking thing. The massive.
And then, according to the story, when the figure made a hissing sound and glided towards the group,
that's terrifying.
Lemon screamed and dropped his flashlight, causing the group to run away. And then the group said that they had smelled a pungent mist, and some later said they were nauseated. And at the same time, the sheriff and deputy had been investigating reports of a crashed aircraft in the area.
And there's another crazy connection.
Yeah.
As we mentioned in the Edred Cold portion of this episode, Mike, these odd UFO sightings that seem to go hand in hand with so many of these bizarre events. You know, there's something there. There has to be something.
Oh, absolutely.
The paper went on to write that those people were the most scared people I've ever seen, said local newspaper publisher A. Lee Stewart in the 1952 news story. Stewart himself had marched up that very same hill with a shotgun after witnesses told him what they had saw. He went on to say that people don't make up that kind of story that quickly. However, a lot of people doubted him. Of course they do. Of course people doubt. There's skeptics out there. I mean, Mike, you and I are skeptics. As much as we're open-minded believers, we're still skeptics. You have to be skeptical.
Absolutely.
This is interesting.
Did you see the account of the next day when A. Lee Stewart Jr. of the Braxton Democrat claimed he went up there to check out this area?
I read that about him, but he brought his shotgun up there.
Yes, but it goes on to what he found up there.
Oh, please tell me. Please elaborate.
Well, okay, I'm not going to make any joke about this,
Oh
but
God, I
I'm
can't
going to
wait.
let you and all of your, imagination go with this, along with all the listeners. Okay, and now I'm reading this. I mean, I'm not making stuff up here.
I know Mike
Okay.
never does that.
Yeah. Lee Stewart Jr. of the Braxton Democrat claimed to have discovered skid marks in the field and an odd gummy deposit, which are subsequently attributed by UFO enthusiast groups as evidence of a saucer landing. Or maybe that was left by Lemon as he ran away. Oh, sorry, I made a joke and I wasn't going to.
So how? Okay,
skid
wait.
marks and an odd gummy substance. I read it as it was.
It's so funny too because I heard you correctly the first time, but for some reason the word globulous popped into my brain as well. Skid marks and a globulous substance. Well, maybe ships do this, aircrafts do it. Seagoing vessels do it. They have to clear their the leftover human waste.
Birds and bees do it.
Who's to say that aliens don't do that? I mean, they're traveling through space and time. They're not going to come across a rest stop in the middle of the the middle of the galaxy every now and then. There's probably out in the middle of nowhere. Who knows how close the nearest restroom is in space.
Yeah.
That's
Are
a
we
question.
there yet?
That is a question I want all of our listeners to ponder heavily. If aliens are truly out there traveling the expanse of the universe, are there like pit stops to go potty?
Yeah, because the toilets on the ships are kind of like. Have you ever been on a bus trip? You use a bathroom in a bus? Not good.
Not fun. No. Yeah, it's. Well, and you did mention there's that pungent smell, so
that's right.
We can put them all together.
Pungent, misty smell.
Some of the skeptics. These are quotes from the newspaper story, 1952 news story. Said that state police actually laughed off the reports as hysteria. They went to say that the so-called monster had grown from 7 to 17 feet tall in a matter of 24 hours, and they're saying that the story was exaggerated as it was repeated.
Well, and that's common to happen, that things are added and, during excitement, and, that can happen, but not to take away from the real story.
No. As we said, this was a real family of boys, the mother, and they all witnessed this. They were all terrified. They claimed to have been terrified. We can't just immediately dismiss that. Especially if a mother is involved with kids. I mean, is she going to go along with a prank? Has she herself been hoodwinked by her kids? I mean, there's so many variables that go into this. Again, we weren't there. I mean, we don't know.
And then plus, the other people that were gathered to go up there, they had an experience as well.
I mean, sure. Yeah, well, I hate to do it, Mike, but we're coming up on almost 20 minutes here. These segments are going to be a heck of a lot longer. This is the first one. The first one of several, an infinite amount to come. I have to leave early for the evening to go pick up my daughters from their fun night at the school, their rec night tonight. Want to make sure to get there on time. Mike, 13 and 14-year-old girls at the school rec night. The boys dancing around, doing whatever the hell they're doing. I can't wait to go pick them up. That's all I'm saying.
Go in there with a big stick.
Yeah, a giant stick. Well, Mike, I don't want. Do you? What else do you have on your article there that you think that we need to cover?
That took it to the end of what I have.
I mean, that's basically the gist of the sighting.
Right.
The point of our yet to be unnamed segment here, it has been called One Last Take for the prior 20 or 25 episodes of the Paranormally Zone, but I do want to rename it. So when this is published, it will have a name. Believe it
will. What that is, we don't know.
But the gist of this segment is we give you the basics. We give you, the blueprint, so to speak, of any particular paranormal / cryptid / alien encounter, what have you. And then we just basically tell you, hey, believer or not, which one are we? Yay or nay, no shades of gray. Mike, I'm going to throw it to you first, man.
It's difficult because, we're going on, just what we research at this point and not living any of this or actually talking to any of the people. But in my opinion, yes, something did happen. No shades of gray on it. Something did happen. And what happened, in my opinion, is probably very close to the way it was, the story was told, besides whatever natural embellishment might have happened.
Okay, so you're okay. Obviously, you say that something happened. Something happened. I'm gonna narrow it down a little bit more. Is this an alien encounter, Mike? Yay or nay? No shades of gray. Alien encounter. Mike Carbno, tossing it to you.
I'm gonna say yes. It is an alien encounter.
Okay. All right. You kind of threw me for a loop on that one there. Okay,
don't use my answer for anything to influence yours.
No, absolutely not. But I do want to ask you another question first.
Okay.
If this was an alien encounter, and you say that you believe that it was, this is not your classic gray alien encounter.
No.
Your gray alien species. We've talked about this, I'm sure, several times. Well, I know we have. There isn't just one species or form or shape or type of alien.
There's countless.
Of aliens out there in the universe. Countless.
Mm-hmm.
We're interested in them. They're interested in us.
Exactly.
No matter where they're from, what part of the universe they're from. They're going to look different. They're going to communicate different. They're going to drop globulous portions of their droppings in different manners.
Pungent, misty skid marks.
Pungent, misty skid
being
marks.
deposited in and whatever they said it was like.
Gummy.
Gummy. How many rolls of toilet paper did they go through to get rid of that? Sorry.
No, that's fine. Of course, that's a sec. Well, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to. I'm sorry. Our Patreon episode we did a couple episodes ago, Mike had a pretty clever but gross joke referring to the disgusting, ridiculous movie Gumo that I had watched.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to. I'm leaving it there. You can use your imagination. If you want, you can go listen to what Mike had to say about that on Patreon.
Yes.
Okay. My decision here, yay or nay, no shades of gray, 1952 Flatwoods Monster encounter. Gosh, I hate to do it, Mike. I hate to do it, but I have to.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say nay.
You're wrong.
Okay.
No. Hey, I respect your opinion. I mean, like I said, look what we're going off of maybe I should have said nay because of lack of information, but
well, what you should have done was when I say Mike, when I ask you, Mike, yay or nay, I should have. Well, first off, you would have simply said
yay,
and then mine would have been. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you get that, but yeah, horse name, Mike.
Got it.
So. Mike, yay or nay?
Yay.
Patrick, yay or nay?
Well, that works.
Is that
okay? Now, so why do you say nay?
Should I eliminate this from the soundboard?
No, it's perfect.
All right. I keep thinking of Frau Blucher when I hear that though. So, well, again, this is a perfect example. This is pure straddling the fence for me. Stop chewing your goddamn nails. Holy cow, I heard that. I heard it.
Hangnail.
Oof, yeah.
Had to hang now.
Sorry, everybody. No. I told my
My mission is to irritate Patrick the best I can and make different
I told
noises under the mic.
told the 13-year-old dropping her off at school today to stop chewing her damn nails. Now I'm telling you.
Hey,
Whatever.
that's all right. Okay,
I
anyway,
lost
go
my
ahead
train of
with
thought
your...
now. Okay, well, as I was saying, perfect example of I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm literally, well, not literally, but I'm metaphorically straddling the fence. But I have to choose. And so therefore I choose nay. Yes. It's a really outlandish story, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's sincerity to it. I do.
Oh, yeah.
I really do. And I'm not dismissing it as being, I'm not dismissing it in my heart, but for the purpose of this segment, I have to say nay. So,
Yep, I could understand that.
that's how it is. That's the purpose of this segment. That's yet to be named segment, formerly the One Last Take segment. But so we got one yay, one nay. That seems to be kind of the common discourse here quite often on our One Last Take.
It does.
Segment, formerly One Last Take segments, but I don't dismiss all of them, everybody. Trust me.
No, absolutely not. You and I have agreed on
Oh, yeah.
on the non-dismissal of
Mhm.
the
100%.
the subject matter at hand.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely 100% open-minded, and we don't just automatically dismiss stuff. We're not pseudo skeptics, so
No.
it's all good. Well, Mike, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much, buddy. This has been a blast. Thank you for
Absolutely
starting a bit earlier tonight. I appreciate it. I'm going to head off and pick up my girls, head home, and enjoy the rest of the evening, and put the podcast episodes together, of course.
Mary and I are going to go have Korean barbecue.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, well, it's in the kitchen.
Oh, I was going to ask,
Not
you're
going
leaving?
out for it.
Oh, I thought you were leaving your house for a second.
No.
I was happy.
Tomorrow, I think we're going to take a road trip to Detroit Lake. So possibly, I don't know.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's just funny you said that because I mentioned that to the girls and Bridget earlier. There's a Chinese food place that they all love Chinese food, and I offered to drive to Detroit Lakes to pick up Chinese for them as long as I could pick up my Taco John's. So, hey, well,
Mary's a huge Taco John's fan.
Keep in touch, man. If you happen to go there, and we're in the same, and we're heading there too, and we're in the same general time frame,
Yeah,
let me know. We can swing by and say hi.
it's a good possibility.
Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody.
Everybody,
Mike,
thank you.
all of our paranormal fans, we love them all. What?
Oh, every one of them, even the ones that aren't fans yet.
That's very true. Very true. Until next time, Mike, what do our future and current paranormal friends need to do?
Peace out, everybody.